BBC bosses will make Lord Sugar do an unconscious bias test after his tweet comparing Senegal's football team to beach sellers in Marbella. BBC bosses want Lord Sugar to undergo an unconscious bias test after he compared the Senegalese World Cup football team to beach sellers in Marbella. The Apprentice star and business mogul, 71, sparked fury when he posted the controversial tweet this week. But he has been allowed to keep his job despite calls for him to be sacked. Sources close to the corporation are now claiming he will be tested to see if he is unconsciously biased with regards to minority groups. A BBC source told the Mirror, his future at the BBC is by no means guaranteed. The feeling among those who want him to stay is he has failed to shake off what can only be said to be a very old-fashioned sense of humor. Hundreds of people slammed Lord Sugar's tweet, but he initially failed to back down, criticizing the OTT reaction to a bloody joke. The tweet was eventually removed 23 minutes later, but he insisted this was only because it was interpreted in the wrong way as offensive by a few people. However, 82 minutes after posting the initial message, he admitted the tweet was misjudged and his attempt at humor has backfired, saying he was very sorry. A spokesman for BBC said earlier this week, Lord Sugar has acknowledged this was a seriously misjudged tweet, and he's in no doubt about our view on this. It's right he's apologized unreservedly. But Lord Herman Ousley, chair of Kick It Out, football's equality and inclusion organization, said Lord Sugar ought to have known better. He told metro.co.uk, this coming from one of Britain's most respected business leaders, a man who was born into an East End Jewish family and is proud of his roots, and a former Tottenham Hotspur chairman. Someone, in other words, who ought to know about racist stereotypes. It shows we have a long way to go. Any assumption made about somebody based purely on their race is racism. There's no getting away from that. Even when the perpetrators think they're being funny, or with the misguided aim of being supportive even, it's unacceptable. Labour MP Dawn Butler called for the BBC to cut ties with Lord Sugar. She tweeted a grab of a section titled "Treating Everyone Equally" from the BBC's Code of Conduct, which states they do not tolerate discrimination of any kind. She wrote, referring to his catchphrase, "Take a look at the BBC's Code of Conduct. It's time the BBC pulled Lord Sugar into the boardroom and told him you're fired." Ms. Butler had earlier said that she was going to write to the House of Lords Commissioner for Standards and the BBC to call for an immediate investigation. One Twitter user said, he should be sacked for these outrageous racist comments. Hopefully BBC will take action. Another tweeted, should be sacked from The Apprentice. Former England player Stan Cleymore said, imagine a black peer saying something anti-Semitic about the Israeli football team at a World Cup. He'd have already been sacked, possibly arrested, and would be front page of every paper tomorrow. Lord Sugar's initial message included an image of the Senegal squad on the pitch, edited to include handbags and sunglasses laid out on sheets. The billionaire businessman wrote above the image, I recognize some of these guys from the beach in Marbella. Multitasking resourceful chaps. But the post was then deleted, and Lord Sugar said, just been reading the reaction to my funny tweet about the guy on the beach in Marbella. Seems it has been interpreted in the wrong way as offensive by a few people. Frankly, I can't see that I think it's funny. But I will pull it down if you insist. However, 82 minutes after posting the first message, he tweeted, I misjudged me earlier tweet. It was in no way intended to cause offense, and clearly my attempt at humor has backfired. I have deleted the tweet and am very sorry. Earlier, he had tweeted to a follower who asked when he would apologize, I can't see what I have to apologize for. You are OTT. It's a bloody joke. In another post in response to someone who had said it was not an okay tweet, Lord Sugar wrote, why not? It is meant to be funny. For God's sake. Sugar later told the Mirror at the time, it was meant as a joke. Someone sent me the picture and I tweeted. People know I have fought against racism for years. I sincerely didn't think this could be interpreted in any other way other than funny. However, due to the comments on Twitter I pulled it down. Lord Sugar's groundskeeper told Mail Online at his home in Chigwell, Essex, that the tycoon left for Israel the same day and would be away for 2 days. The man said, "You will be waiting a long time because he is not here. He flew out this afternoon to Israel." He never mentioned the tweet to me before he left. Meanwhile, workers were pictured earlier this week readying Lord Sugar's £12 million luxury yacht Lady in at Cyprus, Greece. Labour frontbencher Dawn Butler has reported Lord Sugar to the House of Lords Commissioner for Standards and the BBC, calling for an investigation. The MP said she was very troubled by the tweet, adding, "Racism has no place in Parliament or society. Swift action must be taken." Labour MP Richard Burgon added, "As Trump cages kids and the Italian government turns away boats of rescued migrants, this is Alan Sugar's contribution. Proof that robes and riches do not make a role model." A senior Labour source added, "It's quite clearly racially offensive and unacceptable and should be investigated by the relevant parliamentary authorities." Lord Sugar was made a Labour peer by Gordon Brown in 2009, but quit the party 6 years later and now sits as a crossbencher. Some Twitter followers compared Lord Sugar to Roseanne Barr, the U.S. sitcom star who was dropped by her network after an outcry following a racist tweet. And BBC radio DJ Trevor Nelson tweeted, "Oh dear Lord Sugar, really? The joke is totally on him. Sad." He added, "How does he not realize how offensive that is? If it were the Israeli team and someone did the equivalent, I am sure he wouldn't like it." BBC World News presenter Babita Sharma said it was a shocking, vile tweet that you take a screen grab of because you know it will soon be deleted. Kayode Mojupojo, a British-Nigerian entrepreneur, tweeted, "If that Alan Sugar tweet was real, then ladies and gentlemen, you just had a small insight into the type of undercover racism black people face daily. As a black African man, I am genuinely upset, offended and disappointing in you, Lord Sugar." A Senegal fan has criticized as offensive Lord Sugar's tweet comparing his national team to sunglasses sellers in Marbella. Pape Ndiaye, 47, said he was absolutely offended by the tweet, saying, "That's bulls, that's bulls. That's one of the things that's going to keep me from going forward. It doesn't even make sense. Sadio Mane's making enough money to even pay him, whatever, I'm just being rude. But the bottom line is we don't need this kind of thing. I'm not into politics. Politics is not going to change the world. Sport, music, entertainment are the kind of thing that can change the world." Mr. Ndiaye, from Dakar, was speaking in Moscow the day after his team's 2-1 victory over Poland. Kelechi Okafor, a Nigerian-born actress who lives in London, added, "A simple well done Senegal would suffice." But that intragenerational jealousy took hold of Lord Sugar and he had to undermine the players based on their blackness. Among the 23 players in the World Cup squad for Senegal, who beat Poland 2-1 yesterday, 7 are based in England, including 5 in the Premier League. They are Idrissa Gueye of Everton, Cheikhou Kouyaté of West Ham United, Alfred Ndiaye of Wolverhampton Wanderers and Sadio Mane of Liverpool. The other 2 Senegal players based in England are Badou Ndiaye and Mame Biram Diouf, who both play for Stoke City in the Football League Championship. The picture Lord Sugar posted dates back to November 15, 2014, when Senegal beat Egypt 1-0 in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifying Group G. Mane, Kouyaté, Gueye and Diouf are pictured, along with Salif Sain, Pape Diallo Badji, Papakli Diop, Serine Modou Karam Badji, Bouna Koundé, Stéphane Badji and Cheikh Mbang. Bookmaker Paddy Power slashed the odds on Lord Sugar to not appear on the next series of The Apprentice from 21 to evens this week. Lord Sugar is also now rated at 5-1 to delete his Twitter account before the end of the year. The Apprentice, which sees business candidates compete against each other for a £250,000 investment from Lord Sugar, is due to air its 14th series later this year. Lord Sugar, whose net worth is estimated at £1.15 billion, was chairman of Tottenham Hotspur FC from 1991 to 2001.